What's up, guys? Welcome back to the $1 Million Challenge, where I start with $1. I'm trying to get to $1 million by getting 1% profit every single day. And right now we're still on day 420 of the challenge, and the balance is sitting at $5,772. We had some sports bets. This is back from March 10th, 2026. We had some sports bets for the day. Overall, losing day sports betting. Nothing crazy, but we did go down a little bit of money there. This is just proof I placed those bets. That's what I placed for the day. Coming back to the sheet here, though. Even though we lost money sports betting, the crypto portfolio, which holds Bitcoin and XRP, went up a little bit of money there. About 30 bucks, 28 bucks really. And then the investment portfolio, I have some ETFs in the stock market. That went up about $13. So a little bit of movement there kind of saves us. We had $9.37 in bonuses between all the different casino and sportsbooks apps and websites that I use. So for day 420, $5,772. Our 1% profit goal should be $57, almost $58. But if I just show you guys real quick, if I paste this here, you can see we already went up 0.38% for the day, and our 1% profit goal should be $58, but we already made some profits, so we need to get about $36 to complete our 1% goal for the day. All right, coming into the website here, you can see we have about $440 in vault that is stored up. We're not going to be using that today, but that's just proof that we have all this money. This is all legit. You know, I try to show everything. And we have our 4% stop loss today, which is $231 pulled out of the vault, and that's going to be playing with. So if we bust, we won't be losing more than 4% of our bankroll. Now, we need to get $36, so nothing extremely crazy. I'm going to start off with a $10 bet on Blackjack here. And we'll rip it. We're going to see how this goes. We're playing originals. Typically, I have terrible luck on originals Blackjack, but we'll give it a shot today for a little bit. I think if I'm down like 30, 40 bucks, we might just get out of here. I don't want to push it too far because we know we can definitely lose a lot of money here. And we only need 36 bucks. It's not that much money. There's another loss. All right, let's try like one more hand. If we get 4 losses in a row here, not a good start. 4 ace against a 7 is just a hit. Okay, just checking my sheet there. Gotta hit the 15. We bust again. All right, I'm gonna push it a little bit. There's a blackjack. All right, that's a good thing I pushed it a little bit. See if we can get a couple wins here. 12 against 12 is a hit. That's a tough loss. 12 against 16 is a stand. We're gonna stand that. And they pull a 21. Unbelievable, dude. Yeah, this is typically how originals blackjack goes. And we push on that. Crazy pull, but we still push. All right, just bust, please. Cool, we'll take that. Still the $10 bet size. Try to work this up a little bit, and they pull another 21 just like clockwork, dude. It's so easy for them. Love to see it. Okay, take it. 10 against the 4 is a double. We get a 13. You please just bust. Gets a 19. Unbelievable. I'm gonna do a $20 bet real quick. We're gonna up it. 7 ace against a 9. Not a huge fan of that. 7 ace against a 9 is just a hit. We get an 18. We're gonna stand that. We do win that. Let's go for one more $20 hand, and then I'll try to lower it. 19 against a 6 should be decent. They pull a 20. Of course. Too easy. 16 we got a hit against the 10. Easy bust for us. Down 75 bucks. Down 75 bucks already. All right, there's a win right there. We'll take that. Another 20 against a 10. We get another win right there. So we can get like one more win on a $20 bet size. 17 against an 8. Not looking good. They got the 18. All right. 13 against the 2 is a stand. All right, we'll take that win. Can we just get one more win here? 20 against a 10. Okay. All right, let's go down to like a $15 bet. Try to get back to break even for a second here. 17 against a 4. Pulls a 19. Too easy. 19 against a 10. We take that win. 15 against 10, we gotta hit that. 16, we gotta hit. and we bust. All right. 10 against the 10s is just a hit. We get a 13, we gotta hit that again, and we bust. Terrible hands, dude. Terrible hands. There's a blackjack. We'll take that all day. Needed that big time. 10 against an ace. Doesn't have it. So let's see what we gotta do here. 10 against an ace is just a hit. We have an 18. And we push that. I'll take a push. That's fine. That is fine. Another ace. Doesn't have it. We're gonna stand on that. And he's gonna push again. He's gonna pull that 20 and push us. 17 will stand. All right. One more win here. We'll be back in profit. 7-7 against an 8. 7-7 against an 8 is just gonna be a hit. All right. Was thinking that was a split. Luckily didn't split, and he still pulls a 20, bro. Come on, dude. Unreal. Gotta hit that 12. Yeah, we're just sending right back down. Probably should have just pulled out. There's a blackjack. Definitely needed that. 12 we gotta hit. 13 against 10 we gotta hit. And we get that 9-2 late. 20 against an ace. Doesn't have the blackjack, which is good. Getting kind of lucky with those. 2 6s against a 10. It's just a hit. Pull a 21. Crazy pull. Alright, we're back to break even. I'm going to try to do a $12 hand. And if we can just get a win here, I'm getting out. 10 against the 4 is a double. Not liking this, dude. Not liking this. We're gonna rip it though. That's the book. 10 against the 4 is in fact a double on originals blackjack. I don't got a good feeling about this. We're gonna rip it. 21. Crazy. Can we get it though? We get it. $24 in profit. That was huge. Massive comeback. And we only need $12 more from here. So I'm gonna pull out of here while we're in profit. Let's play a different game. So I'm gonna try the Dallin Bear strategy on diamonds. This is a strategy, if you've been watching me, I run this a lot. So basically we start with the 60-cent base bet. There's a good hit right there. Every time we lose, we're gonna add a unit, which is 60 cents. And every time we win, we will decrease it by 1 unit or more if it's a bigger win than a 2x. So we're getting a lot of good wins to start here. We only need like 10 bucks. We don't need a ton of money here. We're getting some good wins. Yeah, that's crazy. We're cooking right now. We can expect to get a lot of losses. That is for sure. There's a 5x. That's huge. We're like right there. That's crazy. We need like probably a couple wins in profit, and then we should be good for the day. But we're gonna have to ride this out for a little bit. We did get a lot of wins, so we might be expecting a lot of losses now. But I've been doing like 50 cents on here. But since we're let's go to 180. Since we're growing our bankroll, I got to increase the bet size a little bit. Okay, yeah, this will start to pick up pretty quick, as you'll see. Bet size will get kind of crazy, but we will trust the process. I think we only busted on this once out of many times I've ran this, and it can get kind of scary though, as we've seen in the past. There's a 3x. Let's go back to base bet here. We are like 30 cents away from it in our profit goal. We just need like one win here. There it is, 36 bucks and 36 cents. A little bit above profit goal, but we're gonna take the extra money, enter that in the sheet, move on to the next day. Day 420 was a win. We got $36 in profit on the website there. A little bit above the 1% profit goal, so take the extra dollar that we profited. Moving on to day 421, we're sitting at total balance of $5,829. We had some sports bets for the day. I tail volume bets on Instagram. There's a link to his page, my Discord server, if you join there. I just track all of his bets. He's good at sports betting. I'm not. I let the professionals do the work, and I just tail him. So I'm not going to take credit for these, but these are the bets he placed for the day relative to his bankroll size, and I just scale it to mine. So we had 2 bets placed there on FanDuel. They're the same bet, but I had to separate them just so I could use profit boost twice. Caps you $10, so that's why there's 2 of them. We made some profit. We did lose one. I think that was a futures bet, so we did actually make profit for the day for once. It's been a while since we made some profit in sports betting, but there's proof of that. Other than that, we had $1.24 in bonuses between the different apps here, and yeah, crypto and our investment portfolio pretty much stayed the same. Not much movement there. Went up a little bit. So we're sitting at $5,829. So 1% profit goal should be $58. But since we made a little bit of profit on the day already, you can see we made 0.36% in profit. So we only need to get $37 on the website today. Pretty much the same thing we just did. Just kind of run it back and get the same amount of profit and see if we can do it. So let's hop into it and try to get another day of wins. All right, so I'm gonna vault some money here. I just showed you guys this earlier. Let's vault some of our profit. So I got to vault 34.35 into the vault. So that leaves us with $233 in our bankroll. That's our 4% stop loss. We're gonna reset the live stats here. I'm gonna be a little bit aggressive here. I'm gonna try to get like $10 in profit. I think I'm gonna shoot for $10. We're gonna do a bigger bet size though. I'm gonna go up to 80 cents. We're on the same strat, and it is a lot more aggressive since I'm doing a 80-cent bet size. But the idea is to hopefully not be in here too long and just play a little bit quicker, not drag it out too much, and just go for a quick $10. It's kind of what I'm looking at. Keep it pretty light. Now this is gonna increase a lot faster, purely based on my bet size, our starting unit size here. So we'll be going up 80 cents each time. There is a 3x. That's a really good hit. We're gonna go back to the base bet of 80 cents here. And we're already halfway to getting $10, and that's our goal. Just keeping it pretty small, break our profit goal into little chunks, bounce around to some different games. That's the idea. So we'll see if we can get some profit. There is another good hit. We have a 3x. Reset back to base bet on 80 cents. And really, I think if we get like one more win, there we go, $12 in profit. So we still need about $25. So that's not too bad. We're gonna play some different games and get out of here. All right, so I'm gonna run a auto dice strategy. I ran this a couple episodes ago, but basically the way this works, here's the conditions for it. It is pretty risky, but all it really is trying to roll over 25 on dice, and every streak of 2 losses here, we're gonna switch the over under. And then on every streak of 7 losses, we're gonna stop the auto bet just so we don't go down too low. There's a pretty slim chance of that happening, but that is definitely possible. That won't bust the bankroll, but it'll get pretty close. And yeah, win chance 75%. Every time we get a loss, we're gonna increase the bet size by 315%. So every time we win, we'll recover and make some profit. Now, the bet size is supposed to be like this, right? 1 cent every $10. So my bankroll of $233, the bet size should be about 23 cents. I think that's a little bit aggressive though. I'm gonna cut that in half. I'm gonna do like 12 cents instead of doing 24 cents. So I'm being a little bit more conservative, but we're gonna let this rip. We're gonna get this started here, and it'll go pretty quick. We'll see. I'm gonna turn on instant bet, and we'll let this cook for a little bit. It might have some big dips. You can see the chart here. Just keep an eye on that. This is not 100% guaranteed way to profit. It's probably, I mean, it's definitely likely to bust, but the longer you run it, the higher chance you have of busting. So I'm not recommending you ever gamble or ever use the strategies I use, but if you happen to run it, just be aware it definitely can bust, and the more bets you place, the higher chance you're gonna hit that losing streak that can bust the bankroll. So we're gonna let this cook for a little bit. I'm gonna try to get this to like $20 to $22 in profit just to see how fast it moves here. But if we go on some crazy dips, I might pull out a little bit early. I want to be a little bit safe and not run this too long, but it's typically a pretty quick way to make a little bit of money, and a little bit of a safer way of doing it, as long as you don't let it go too long. Now, I wouldn't run this for the entire day. I'm comfortable doing what I'm doing now and just kind of letting it go for a little bit. Maybe go to like $22 here. I don't want to push it too far, but that would be $10 in profit on dice. That's the way I'm looking at it. No big dips yet, but I'm gonna slow this down a little bit just because we'll speed it up. Okay, just want to be careful and not get too greedy here. So we're at $22. We'll wait for a win here. There's a win. We're gonna stop the auto bet. We just profited $10 on dice. We probably ran that for, I guess we could see the actual bet there. We ran it for like what, 330? Is that the right, 340 bets maybe? yeah, 340 bets, profited 10 bucks. So just be a little bit safe there. It's a good wagering strategy, but we're gonna leave it at that. We still need about $15, so let's hop into a different game, try to get 15 bucks. All right, this is a wheel strategy that one of you guys submitted, one of the people that watch, and it's a little bit risky for sure. The way this works, ran this recently too. We start off on a 10 cent base bet. Every time we lose, we're gonna martingale. And every time we win, we're gonna decrease it by the multiplier we hit. So you'll see how this works in a second here, once we get a couple losses. But right now, we're just gonna let it cook a little bit. I think the idea is really just to once you get a bunch of losses, you're kind of hoping to get a win eventually as you keep increasing the bet size. So we'll let this go, and then eventually we're gonna have to place some big bets, but it does increase really, really fast because we're martingaling. So we won on a 2x, we're gonna half this twice. So we're back to base bet and just let it cook. There will be a point though, this is gonna get scary. So we're gonna just decrease it once in half because it was not a 2x. If it's anything under a 2x, you just decrease it once in half. So martingale it up again. We're gonna go up again to 80 cents here. Go up to $1.60. And since that's less than the 2x, we'll just half it once. And then we'll half it once. And then we'll double it up. So we hit a 2x, we're gonna half this twice. That's the multiplier. So as long as you're getting a couple wins here and there, it will keep you in the game. We're gonna go back to base bet since we got a 4x there. And it doesn't really do much when you're at this bet size. When you're at the base bet, it doesn't really get too much movement. I mean, it does a little bit honestly, but nothing super crazy. But once you start getting those big bet sizes, I think the last time I did this, I was running like $24 to $28 bet sizes, and that gets terrifying. So the idea is not to get that deep into it, but you have zero control over it. You have no control whatsoever, so just gotta be careful. I got a feeling we'll get pretty big bet sizes here. All right, half it once, we're still at 40 cents. Go back to 80 cents. Half it once, and then we'll double this. There's a 4x. That's good. That's good. We'll go back to 10 cents here. We lose, double it. We lose again, we'll double it. There's a 2x. We'll go back to base bet. Half it twice. Go back to base bet. Anytime we get a win on base bet, we just keep running it. All right. I mean, it is slowly moving, honestly. Let's go to the wheel here and check it out. So it's, luckily we haven't hit any big dips yet, but I know it's coming. We already made $5 in profit. That's really good, actually. Kind of sketchy how good it is on these small bet sizes, because I know once we start getting big, we're probably gonna get some bad losses. All right, we'll double this up. Yeah, not too bad. If we can get to like $10 without risking the bankroll too much, I'll probably just get out of here. All right. No crazy loss streaks yet. This might be the first crazy loss streak. We're up to a $3.20 bet. We get a win there, we're gonna half it once since it's under a 2x. Another loss, back to 320. We get a 2x. We're gonna half this twice, back to 80 cents. And then we'll go back to 160, 320. Here we go, 640, 1280. We hit the 2x. We're gonna decrease this in half twice, back to 320. We hit another win there. We got $10 in profit. I'm gonna probably just get out on that. Like I said, dude, $12 as a base bet, or as the bet size, gets scary. You lose that, you're at the 24. You lose that, you're at 48. So it does get scary on those loss streaks. But yeah, we're only about $5 away, so we're gonna hop into a different game and try to get $5 somewhere else. We'll see if this is easy. We're gonna go for $5 on Originals Blackjack. Start off with a 13 against a 5. He's gonna get an 18. I don't know why I do this to myself. I don't know why I do this. It's just, it's like so obvious, bro. Look at this. Look at this. We're gonna go up to $10 bet size here. It's just like blatant that it's not a good idea. Just getting cooked, getting cooked, rinsed, left and right. Just bust. All right, that's a wild pull there. Luckily he busted after all those cards. We have a 9 against the 5, which is a double. That's terrifying, but we're gonna play by the book and double it and get a 12. All right, I pulled through, thank God. Blackjack, I gotta stop playing originals, man, but luckily we made profit again on this game. We're $37 in profit. We're gonna enter that in the sheet, move on to the next day. Day 421 was a win. We got our 1% profit goal of $37 and pretty nice day right there. We'll take that. So we're moving on to day 422. We have some sports bets for the day. Just one. We did lose that sports bet though, so we lost $14 sports betting for the day. Nothing super crazy, but we did have, I think, about $2 in bonuses between all the different apps we use, and Bitcoin went up like $37. Our investment portfolio went down like $20. That's back from March 12th, 2026. So we had a little bit of profit so far on the day, about like 13 bucks. So if we just pull this over here, you can see we went up like 0.22%. So you get like 46 bucks for the day. We're gonna hop on the website and see if we can get another third day of wins and hopefully have a successful video. Let's hop into it. All right, so we're gonna vault some more money here. We're gonna put in 35.16, a little bit of our profit from the previous day. Put that in the vault, and we're sitting with $235. That is our 4% stop loss for the day. We're gonna reset the live stats here, and we're gonna try this high-low strategy that one of you guys sent in to me. Now it's a Down Bear strategy. This is by Justin Z. He's in our Discord server. Here's what he suggested to me. I'm gonna give it a shot. So he says 200 units. So I'm gonna take our balance. This is the way I guess he does it. 200 units. We're gonna divide that by 200. So 235 by 200. We're starting off with, I guess, $1.18. That is kind of a weird number there. Maybe we'll just do $1.20. So the way he does this is he skips all cards between a 5 and a 9, and then he only goes for the better option between the two cards. And it's a Down Bear strategy. So every time you lose, you just add a unit, which will be $1.20 for us, and then every time you win, you'll decrease it. He said he has yet to bust with this, and he ran it like 10 times. So we're gonna give it a shot. So we're gonna place our bet here. He said he skips anything between a 5 and a 9. So we'll skip everything between then, and then just go for the better chances there. We're just going for a 2x. Usually I go for 3x when I run high-low strategies. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so let's go lower than a queen. Not quite at a 2x. This might be a slow strategy. We'll give it a shot though. Probably one more card, we should be at a 2x. We lose, so we're gonna double this up. And we lose again, so we're gonna go up to a 360 bet. Go lower, lower. Skip anything between a 5 and a 9. Shouldn't skip that, but it's alright. Go lower. And there's our 2x. We're gonna cash that out. And we made profit. It's a little bit extra. So go back to base bet here. This is, I don't know how I like this. It's a slow strategy, but you know, sometimes those slow strategies are pretty good because it makes you take your time. That's something that I personally like compared to like auto strategies, because you have to kind of focus, you have to take your time, make sure you're placing the right bets, and then if you do lose, I think if you're playing slower like this, it helps you kind of lock in, reset if you need to, maybe switch things up. Yeah, this is really slow. We'll try to get profit maybe like one more time, and maybe stop this. All right, so there's a 2.46x, a little bit of profit. I mean, not a bad strategy. but it's just really slow. So I'm gonna stop it there. We'll try something different. Let's do the Dallin Bear strategy on diamonds. I'm gonna do a $1 base bet. I know that's very aggressive for the Dallin Bear strategy, but kind of like what I did last time with the 80-cent bet. I'm thinking if I can get potentially, oh, this may have been a bad idea doing this such a high of a bet. I'm thinking potentially if I can get like, oh boy, like $15 of profit, I'll stop. But this is off to a terrible start. There's a 4x. That's huge. That's huge. Let's bring us back down to like a $4 bet. We'll just try to run this for like one chain then, since this is really aggressive. There's a 3x. We'll bring this back down to like a $3 bet. Another 3x. Let's go back to like a $2 bet. And $1. Okay, we're back to like where we started. We didn't actually make any profit. There's a little bit of profit. But yeah, getting a crazy loss streak can get out of hand. That's terrifying. There's a 4x. Let's go back down to like an 80-cent bet. Try to lower it a little bit. So that way it won't increase as fast. There's a 4x. We'll go back to an 80-cent bet. Try to get this maybe to like 20 bucks in profit and then play a different game. There we go, 22.50 in profit total for the day. We're about halfway there. Let's just try to get this to, yeah, there we go. So that's like half, $25. We're halfway to our profit goal. Feels pretty good. Let's try to get some profit in a different game. All right, coming into live blackjack, we're gonna do some $10 hands, and I'm gonna go for 2 wins in profit. We're gonna try to get 2 profitable hands. I'm only playing one hand at a time here. We'll see if we can get 2 wins. And I'm trying to switch it up. I do love blackjack, man. We have a 20 against a 6. I don't know if it's a double. An ace-9. Ace-9. That's just a stand. Okay. Yeah, I just love blackjack. It's an easy game. It's like you have a little bit of control in it. But yeah, we're gonna try to do like 2 hands here. There's our first win. That's pretty good. So let's see if we can get one more real quick, and hopefully just get out of here. But sometimes I have terrible luck on blackjack, so hopefully today I get some good luck. Hopefully we just get another quick win. We can call it best case scenario. I'm trying to listen to you guys. You guys have been saying I should be playing live games more, because especially the way the original's been treating me, especially original's blackjack. 17 against 2 is not terrible, so we're gonna stand on that. Not the best, but definitely not terrible. But yeah, I've been trying to listen to you guys for sure, and we're gonna, you know, play some 11. All right, we'll take the push on that. That's a great push. Her pulling 11, then we get a 17 push. We'll take that all day. Go back, run back the $10 bet here. Yeah, I mean, roulette, baccarat, blackjack, it's pretty much the only games I would play live. Roulette's just like, I do like roulette. It's just a very slow strategy. Most of the strategies you play on there are pretty slow. They're more of a grind, and for content purposes, I feel like they're just like not the best. They take a long time to run, and then baccarat is like sometimes a little bit too quick. We have a 6 ace against a 6. That's a double. That's a double. We'll play by the book. I feel like that's a weird double, but I guess you're hoping for a 10. Okay, we get an 18. That's not bad. Hopefully we get a win though. And she busts. That's a crazy win. We got a lot of extra profit. We only needed $46. We got like another $9 almost. So we'll take the extra profits. Great day. We're gonna enter that in the sheet and wrap up the video. Day 422 was a win. We got our $54.90 in profit, so we went a little bit above the 1% profit goal. Feels pretty darn good, man. Getting some wins today. Overall in the video, we went up $162 between the 3 days here. That's a really good video. A lot of profit. We've been on a pretty good streak recently, so we got to keep that pushing. We went up a total of $128 from gambling. So the other $34 was from sports betting, the crypto investment portfolio, ETFs, bonuses, a little mix of everything there. But yeah, $128 of the 162 was from gambling today. And we went up between the 3 days 3.17% on the bankroll. So pretty good return for the video. Total bonuses for the day. Let's see here. We had about $10.60 in bonuses. I guess finally I'll just go back down to our graph here just to get a visual representation of our bankroll. I did mention recently that this gray line's our tracking line. If we got 1% profit every single day, again, that's super unrealistic to get a win every day for 920 days. So we're not really keeping too much of an eye on that. That's just more of like a little bit of a baseline, like best case scenario. Some people said I should adjust this so it's more realistic, like add in losing days to this gray line so it's more realistic to like where we're actually tracking. But I think if that's the highest standard, that's the bar of getting 1% profit every day, I think it's fine to leave it where it's at and just see how close we are to being perfect. But you can see right now, just based on the past like week and a half, maybe we already came back a pretty good amount. And obviously get a losing day, that's gonna set us back pretty good. But we're gonna just not think about that and just be happy with where we're at. We're at a peak balance right now, which is pretty crazy. You can see this portfolio, the whole bankroll is a total. It's moving in the right direction. That's all that matters. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I don't really have much else to say. I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, we are at a peak balance. I just want to double check that because we were pretty high back here. Let's see here. Yeah, 5. I guess we've been cooking. I think we hit like a peak back here, maybe. Yeah, 5,600. Then we got a losing day, and then ever since then we've been kind of flat. So 5,600 was our previous peak, and now we're at 5,935, almost at $6,000. And again, we're like 10% behind the tracker, maybe 11%, 12%. Not too bad, really. Again, this is a perfect run. This is where we would be if we're absolutely perfect. So I'm not too stressed about that. But if we can hit 6K soon, I think at this level of the bankroll we're at, we're just trying to hit those $1,000 milestones and then just try to stay within that. So right now the goal is pretty much not to go down to 5,000. That's a successful progression in my book. If we're not hitting 5K, we hit that 6K number. All right, let's stay at 6K and try to work towards 7K and not fall below 6K. That's just the way I'm kind of looking at it at this point in the challenge. So hopefully next episode we can get some wins, be at $6,000. And yeah, I mean, you can see the profit goal each day is going up too. I think that's another good point to note here. Even 17 days ago, our profit goal was $49, and today we were going for $59. So the profit goal each day is getting exponentially bigger too. So when we're at $6,000, the profit goal will be $60 each day, and at $7,000, it's $70 each day. So it's gonna hopefully speed up quicker, and those losses will hurt more if we get some losses. When we get some losses, they're bound to happen, but we just gotta keep that in mind. The wins will be bigger, the losses will be bigger, but the bankroll hopefully will grow a lot faster. So that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, leave them below in the comments. Hope you guys are enjoying this challenge. I think at this point it's starting to get pretty serious. We're making a lot of headway, so hopefully it's a little bit more entertaining playing with some bigger numbers instead of playing with pennies and 10 cents and 20 cents and stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. But join the Discord server if you're not already in there. Don't gamble. It's a losing game in the long run. I don't suggest you try this. This is purely just for fun. It's an experiment to see if I can get to $1 million, getting little profits every single day. And yeah, until next video, take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.